Hey, what's good, guys? So it's Deja back with another video. So today y'all just gonna see me do my freaking nails. This is how my nails look now. Y'all know I got good genes, so you know they thick and healthy. This I actually need to like file this down, but that's my real nail right there. But I file that down, and this my other thumb. Okay, but y'all gonna see me do my nails, and we're gonna do a throwback Thursday video. Now I don't got no makeup on, looking crazy, but who cares? It's throwback Thursday, okay? So first, I'm gonna file everything, and we're gonna get into. I used to have a celebrity in middle school. Y'all, I grew up with a celebrity basically. So I'm not gonna tell y'all who this celebrity is off the bat, but we just gonna talk about the events that added up to the celebrity being a celebrity, okay? So in middle school, me and this person used to have the same teacher. We was like in I can't even remember what grade, but I went to Thornton Middle School. If y'all don't know, I went to Thornton. Why I look like I had chicken grease? Don't mind it, don't mind it. So I went to Thornton or whatever, and we had this teacher named Miss Price, and like she was a bigger lady, you know, she was real big. But look, I don't judge her. She was a sweetheart to me. She used to treat me real nice. You know, it was a couple times where this celebrity and his friend would throw me off because they used to have me cracking up in the class. Now, if y'all don't know me, I'm goofy, so there's no way around it. So we had this teacher named Miss Price. We was in, I can't remember what grade we was in. I want to say, I feel like we was in 6th grade, but I think that was 8th. I don't know, but her name was Miss Price. Now, this how the class always started. So when we first started the class, like I was like the shy one. I never talked. Nobody really talked until like I think probably like the middle. I don't want to say the middle. Probably like the 3rd or 4th month is when everybody used to like start talking and just running their mouth, girl. Everybody established friends. Everybody started sitting by their friends. Everybody, you know, getting to know each other. And like, you know, establishing their groups. You know how in middle school you establish a group. You know exactly who you want to sit by, even if somebody wasn't there that day. Because that's your group. Like, y'all got something to talk about. Y'all got something to kiki about, okay? So, I go sit by. Okay, so she used to like, okay, she got tired of us doing it. It was about the 3rd month in of school. She just got tired of us. She used to move us around, move us in groups. And like, she used to always pair me with this group. And the celebrity I'm talking about now, he is goofy. Especially when him and his homeboy became homeboys. You know what I'm saying? They became real good friends. So, I'm just like, oh, I don't want to be in group with them. They always goofing out. But this is the thing. I used to be right with them, cracking. When I say these people had jokes, they had jokes for days. Like, I used to crack up. Like, I used to get in trouble just for laughing. I think I got detention like 3 or 4 times dealing with these people. Dealing with the celebrity dude and his homeboy. I'm like, oh my God. And she just kept putting me with him. Until like probably around the end of the year, she finally figured out it wasn't me, it was them. Because I had detention, so I wouldn't be in her class some days. So she finally, you know how people will be trying to identify, you know, the person. And me laughing, they used to always think like it was me, like cracking the jokes, because I always stayed laughing, always stayed smiling. And like even when I wasn't laughing out loud, I would like do this like you know, always smiling in the class. So she just got tired of us. Really, really tired of us. And I'm like, why she just getting tired of me? Like, you know what I'm saying? I don't know what it is. And you know what's so funny? I had this same dude. I had the same pair of dudes when I got to high school. I was mad because I can't stop laughing with them. Like, they would crack on me and I still would laugh. Like, they was funny. They were funny. So, in Miss Price class, I'm talking so loud. in Miss Price class or whatever, I had attention, so she kept putting me with them. And I'm like, why she keep putting me with them if I'm gonna crack up, I'm gonna be laughing or whatever. So he started, like, I think his daddy had to come to the school once or twice because he just couldn't act right. So I, like, at this point, he started acting, how kids act different once they get that booty whoop. When they get that booty whoop, they acting different. So he started acting different. It's like half of the year where we finna go on Christmas break or whatever. We finna go on Christmas break. So when we came back from Christmas break, he started acting different. He didn't want to sit by his homeboy no more. His homeboy was, started getting mad in the class because because he came back and was acting different. So I'm like, oh, why everybody acting different? So I started acting different because at this point I still was cracking up. I started sitting by like these Hispanic kids and they used to be cracking up. So it just was like, I'm good with every race, everybody. But I started sitting by them and they used to crack up. So I'm cracking up with them. So, but the dudes was still in the class, and they was like, "Why? What's so funny?" They started getting offended because they wasn't cracking up. I wasn't in that group no more. They was like, "What's so funny? What's so funny?" So I kept getting in trouble dealing with them because they kept saying, kept making jokes. At this time we beefing. I'm like, "Shut up, shut up! You all in my business. You way over here." Everybody know me. I still do that to this day. I be like, "You way over here," or whatever. So I'm like, "Shut up, shut up! You way over here. Ooh." Sorry, I'm trying to find this. Y'all see this white stuff? It's just the stuff from my nails. So, Christmas break, they came back. I sat by somebody else. She put me by somebody else. But by this time, I had went to detention like 3 times already, in my opinion, from that class because I kept cracking up. Kept cracking up. Just that class. I'm like, why am I so funny in this class? But on my other class, I'm super quiet. Probably because I was showing out in front of them. I tried to be in with the crowd during the time. And plus, people just like my personality. Like, I'm goofy. I'm like good people. I still be paying attention in class. At this time, I still was getting good grades. So, yeah. So, I'm trying to follow. So, time passed by. Christmas break has passed. Everybody moved. I'm still goofing off, still laughing. And I think we had the STAR test back then. So, the STAR test, she decided to like do like this practice work or whatever. Y'all won't guess who the celebrity is. He was so funny. So I'm like, oh, why she put me over here with them again? So instead of us practicing for the STAR, because I guess she thought we would be able to, like, they would be able to more focus with me because, I was a black girl in class. I was funny. I was more their speed. I still was like live. Like it don't matter what she put me. I still couldn't control myself. But around them, I guess because they figured out I still would laugh without their jokes. I started getting quiet more because then like all the attention would be on me. So I just was tired of the attention on me. So around the STAR test, they put me with the dudes. And I'm like, oh, why you put me with them? They don't know nothing. At that time I was like sassy. I'm like, they don't know nothing. They don't know nothing. Why you put me with them? I was cool with the people I was with already because, they was funny and they was more my speed. Some days they would be quiet and some days we would crack up. That was more my speed. Every day with these dudes, they would crack up. Like, every day. I could never really focus in a group, but she decided to put me with the celebrity guy that I'm talking about. I'm like, oh, why you put me with him? Why you put me with him? And then I think who got kicked out of class? I think one of his homeboys got kicked out of class and somebody else came in. And he knew them. So, it still was like, ha kiki moment. Why I thought I heard something. Sorry, I'll be hearing stuff. It was still like a ha kiki moment. I'm just like, why you put me with him? Why you put me with him? So from that point, I follow my nose. So that point, I'm like, oh, well, I'm going to try. So he's still cracking up, Then the jokes start to turn on me, because I guess, like, I started being more quiet when I got back around them because I'm just like, all they do is crack jokes. So they they used to make me mad or whatever. So, yeah, but they started being quiet more after the time, but they still was cracking jokes. It wasn't as bad as when we first started through the year. You know what I'm saying? It was like way better. So I think like, I think after we took the STAR test, she split everybody up. You know how teachers kind of want you to focus on like the end of the school year, them tests they used to give out. I don't know if it was a STAR. It was some kind of test we took for the end of the year, you know, to make sure we're moving on to the next grade. So she split everybody up. She turned the desk outside of groups because we used to be in groups. That's why we used to always crack up. So we used to be in groups or whatever. She moved everybody out the groups because she felt like, you know, she didn't want nobody coming in here playing because we really needed to make sure we go to the next grade. So I'm like, okay, cool. So I got quiet. Everybody got quiet in the school year. When the end of the year came, it was like, it became different. Like, it was more laid back. People wasn't like clowning like they normally do. What is this? People wasn't clowning like they normally do. It was just different, you know? So, so at the end of the year, you know, people don't care. People is like skipping school. So I want to say like a week or so they was out of school. I ain't never seen them. I think they was in detention or they just was skipping. So all the attention was on me because I was the next up. I used to be always funny. Like, I used to be so funny in middle school. Like, everybody loved me. I had a mix of friends kind of here and there. You know, it's always that one popular group that don't like you. I'm like, but everybody else loved me, teachers, students, whatever. So I'm like, and who to think he will be a celebrity today? That's crazy. I'm still thinking about that. Like, time be flying by, okay? But during the time, though, he was focused more on, like, his schoolwork, you know, because he was like, oh, I gotta get good grades, but he would still joke off. Like, he was cool, but he knew, like, you know, I guess he knew his daddy wasn't playing that shit. But yeah, so we used to crack up on the teacher. The end of the year came, and she was just like real mean at this point. She was like, I'm not playing with y'all. She was like on her weight loss journey, so she used to come in there like telling us about how she was losing weight and how she was going to go through this. Like, me and her was real cool. We used to talk a lot. But yeah, she was like, I'm on my weight loss journey and whoop the whoop. And she would tell us like updates about her losing weight and all this. So I'm like, okay, cool. And like, they stayed cracking up. So while the next school year, I got him again in another class. I'm like, oh my God, I can't get rid of people. I don't know. Was it Spanish? It was some class I had him in. I was like, I can't get rid of people. So the next year came, we cracked up again. Like, we didn't have a personal relationship, but like when I come into class, they knew like it was time to ha-ha kiki. And I'm like, why everybody want to ha-ha kiki when I come up in the class, you know? Because I used to like think every time it was picking on me, but nah, when I sit by them, it wasn't always. Like, I would accept they would pick on me because I know people. I was a kid at the time. I didn't think, and like, I'll crack back. Everybody know from my childhood, I'm gonna clap back. And like, from then, I think I didn't really have too much picking on me besides, sorry, I'm all spinning. I didn't have too much picking on me until I got to high school where I was with like bigger kids. Then it was like a problem. But beforehand, nobody would pick on me in middle school. Like, it'll be ha-ha kiki for a minute, and then I'm ha-ha kikiing on them, and then everybody get quiet. You know, that's how it always been with me. I don't know what that's about. Probably because I'm funny too. Like, you fire me up, I'm finna fire you up back. That always been my motto growing up. So, you know, and then I had to go to high school defending myself too. So yeah, it was always problems, but it wasn't major problems. I wasn't like the kid that always got picked on. Like, I just had a couple moments until I started to glow up a little bit. Not gonna say I was just like prom queen, but I'm saying like I had to glow up just a little bit. I want to say I had a bad experience in high school and with prom. I had a blasting time. I got asked by this dude. I don't know if I can really say people's name like that on my social, but I got asked by this dude. I turned him down. He ended up taking this other girl. The reason I turned him down is because I feel like he used to wear contacts, and for a boy, I just feel like, you know, even if you was, you know, kind of funny, I just feel like that wasn't my thing. Like, I'm picky. I've been picky forever. My whole life I've been picky. But he used to wear contacts, and like everybody used to say, oh, he like you, he like you. I'm like, but still, you wear contacts. That's giving me very much, you know, girl vibes. Like, my little homegirls wear contacts. I wear contacts hell. So I ended up turning him down because of that reason. Like, he was a great dude. He used to always come in class sitting by me when we had I think we had biology. I can't remember what we had, but we had some kind of class. He used to stay sitting by me. Him and this other dude, but I felt like, you know, and I had him too for plenty of years, but he's not a celebrity, but still, I still had him for a lot of years. But I just turned him down because he wore contacts. Like, I'm picky. I was like, I'm not finna go to prom to you. So he ended up asking some other girl. She had natural pretty eyes. He ended up asking her, and I'm like, oh, you asked her to the prom? That's what's up. He's like, yeah, because you didn't want to go with me. So I just asked her, you know, my friend. And they ended up getting in a relationship after that anyways. So, yeah, I'm just like, yeah, I wanted to go by myself or my best friend at the time. But this is the thing, me and my best friend had fell out so many times within this time. And I'm like, I'm still going to take my best friend. And at the time of prom, we didn't even talk, y'all. It was sad. But when I walked that stage, everybody was like, ah! And my friend told me, she was like, I heard everybody cheering for you. And I had a party, y'all. It was so big. It wasn't big, but it was like, hey, you know. But yeah, so let me get back into the details of the celebrity person. So I'm like, why I keep having class with this person? I think like after freshman year, we didn't have no more classes. Now, let me tell y'all, freshman year, that was the funny. We had gym together. We had, I think, one regular class together. But gym, okay, let me tell y'all about the moment we played, what is that little game where y'all throw balls and y'all hit each other? Yo, they used to always come for me. I used to be like, no, don't come for me, girl. I used to be running around that gym. And, you know, they used to make comments like, oh, you need to work out anyways. And I say, did I get in with the ball? So they used to always try to get me back. And I go run behind every other dude that I see and know. You know, because I was like, not saying popular, but I knew everybody. So it was just like, you know. I'm not going to say I was popular, but I knew everybody. Like, I would have a blend of people in all my classes. So I'm like, okay, so we played that game. So this what he embarrassed me with. The game over, the coach then blew the the whistle. He decides to come over, him and his homeboy and this other boy I had gym with that used to think he's so funny. You know, he decides after the coach blow the whistle, everybody running, everybody's tired. I'm tired. I'm like, okay, well, I'm finna go chill. Out of nowhere, when he blow the whistle, he like, stop throwing the ball, stop throwing the ball. So he decides to come by me and throw the ball. Yeah. I was so mad. I'm like, and it was like some older white dude. It was like, you know you wrong. And it's like everybody saying he wrong. He mad now, so now he firing me up. I'm like, okay. So like during gym time, it was another class that comes in during our time or whatever. Okay, this is where I'm at on my nose. I'm ashy. But it was another class, like an older class that come in during our time. So I'm like, okay. Wait till your little older homeboys. See, young homeboys don't want you to embarrass them in front of older homeboys. So I said, okay, wait till your older little homeboys come in. So the older class come around, and I'm like, okay, cool. So they go, you know, he do his little showing eye in front of his little older homeboys. I'm like, oh yeah, I'm finna fire him up because this is the best time to fire him up. So I come around, it's one homeboy that I know because I got another class with him. I had, what's that little class where you do sewing and all that? I had that class with him. So he knows me. Like, a lot of people knew of me during the time. So I'm like, okay, cool. I'm finna come around here and embarrass you. So I come over there. He said, why you following? Well, you know how boys are and they young at that age. They go, why you coming over here? Why you following us? Nobody like you. Whoop the whoop. So I said, ain't nobody like you. So I'm firing him up. I'm telling you, all his homeboys. Oh, they was doing like the little rap battle. At that time, that was popular. So I'm like, okay. So I go around fire his ass. I fired him up. He like, from there, y'all, that's why I gained my respect in high school. Like, once I fired him up, they said, no, she didn't. You know, I just fired him up during that time. And that's why I gained my respect. So after that, I never had no problems in high school besides when I got into like a Spanish class and like new people started coming out of school and they didn't know about my respect. So every time they were disrespecting me, like they would have problems, and then after that they would give me my respect. So I fired him up after that day. I just gave my respect, and everybody knew like, oh, you get on her, she gonna come back with the heat. So I'm like, okay, good. I embarrassed him in front of his little friends. Remind you, he played basketball. He played basketball. So during gym, when the older class come in, they gathered up for a little bit, and then we have free gym. So he'll go play basketball. But before free gym and after free gym, baby, best believe he heard my mouth, and I gained my respect doing that. So when my friend came around, my best friend came around during the time, he'll try to act brand new. Like, oh, the woo, you know, showing out. Dudes love to show out in front of your friends. I'm learning that. They show out in front of their friends. They show out in front of your friends. Okay. So after that, I just gained my respect. But it's so crazy because, oh, let me go back to middle school. It's so crazy because middle school was different. Like, oh, well, that was that middle school? No, that was middle school. No, I had to do this to him in middle school and high school because for some reason I was always the one that's getting picked on by him and his homeboys. Like the little group of people he would hang out with. So I'm like, why am I getting picked on? And you don't pick on my friend. You don't pick on no other girl besides me. Every girl in my group, you cool. Ooh, let me see. What color I want her on? I'm trying to just see. Why are you picking on me and not my homegirls or whatever? Every time I come around, you want to pick on me, but you don't want to pick on my homegirls. So that made me feel some type of way with this person. I'm like, okay, cool. So during that time, you know, the saying was, oh, the dudes like you when they pick on you. He did not like me. We did not like each other. He said he picked on me because he knew me for so long and, you know, he thought we was cool. And, you know, I was like, that's not no excuse. Hold on, y'all. That's not no excuse. But I see how dudes kind of think now. You know, I kind of knew how dudes think at that point. Because when dudes think they know you and all that, they get comfortable. Like, they give you, like, that comfort. Because he not the only dude I had that problem with in high school. In high school and middle school. So, you know, I was just like, okay. But, yeah, girl, he ended up becoming a celebrity and all this. I was like, dang, you know what? I should have kept in contact with people I was cool with. And, middle school and high school. But I'm the type of person that like I move on. I learn to move on from people, move on from things. And like I think this is the first time in my entire life where I haven't learned how to move on from a complete situation. But with me, that's just me. I learned to move on because I feel like when I moved out the country, I moved on. Like that lifestyle I had, everything that happened within me living in the country, I had moved on from because it was a lot of history and a lot of hurtful things that happened within me living down there, you know, and going through. But I moved on from that. But I see, like, during my lifetime, I leave a spell on people. I don't understand why I leave a spell on people or why, you know, during a time or a, like, event, I do that. But I just leave a spell on people. Like, no matter where I am, or whatever, once they see my face, they be like, oh, yeah, I remember her. You know, and they'll remember a time they had with me because I leave a spell on people. You know, whether it's good or bad, you know, I still leave like a little spell on people where they can say, oh, yeah, I remember her. You know, I remember her. She was going through this or da-da-da. You know, it's something. And, like, that's always been me. Like, but most of the times it's always positive. It's nothing bad. They usually say, oh, she funny. She smart. She this, she that. You know? And I feel like when I leave bad spells, it's for alternate reasons. It's something that person either did to me for me to leave like a bad spell with them, or something that occurred within bad that happened in between us. But usually I'll leave a great spell with people. Like, I'm a really good person, you know? So it's like so surprising that like events that I went through, people had so much negative to say. I'm like, but that's not true. Ooh, I should have filed this some more on this finger. I'm like, that's not all the way true, because I'm like a people's person. I'm a people person. Okay? Like, I'm so cool with everybody. I always been cool with everybody my whole entire life. Like, when I walked the stage, everybody cheered for me. When I was in different events and programs, I knew everybody. Everybody knew me, even like younger ages. Like, people be like, hey, Deja. And I'd be coming to class like, hey, you know me. You know? But going through a lot and accepting that I went through a lot, it's like life-changing, because I can look back and say, oh, I went to school with that celebrity, or oh, I knew that person when I was in 5th grade. You know, I went to Thornton, and like, it was a great experience. Like, I had fun. And the fact that I look on TV and I'm like, oh, I went to school with that dude. I had him in so many classes. Like, he know who I am. But I can't just be saying that. But I'm not going to say his name. If y'all went to Thornton, when I went to Thornton, y'all know who I'm talking about. Because I'm not looking for clout. I'm just looking to tell a little, you know, Throwback Thursday story. Because on Thursdays, I plan to do Throwback Thursday stories. Like, that's going to be my thing. And that's what I'm going to try to do every Thursday for y'all. I got so many stories, so many, you know. But yeah, I was in his class. Girl, he used to crack up. He a great person. But like, during that time, we was kids. I can't, you know, tell his demeanor now. But I know his daddy used to work him. He used to always come to class. Oh, my dad, da, da, da. I was the female, you know, the black dudes thought they can, you know, talk to. We used to talk about so much. We used to talk, not just with him, but in like middle school, high school, I used to talk about so much with with everybody. Even when we was beefing, when I beef with people, they still would come back and be like, oh, I went through this. I can't believe, you know, whoop the whoop. They still talk to me like we just buddies. I'm like, ain't we beefing? Like, I remember I was in detention with this one girl, and she did not like me. So when we got to detention, she had like, we was best friends. I was like, oh, see, that's that fate, you know? And I think the teacher knew, because the teacher knew I wasn't talking back. So you know how they go. When the teacher see you not talking back, it's something that, you know, I always gave a vibe. I'm like one of the people that give a vibe. Is either you going to get that bad vibe or you going to get that good vibe. So yeah, I was in detention. She was talking to me like we was best friends. I'm like, excuse me, you know I don't fool with you. People always got to come around me faking and penetrating. Like, girl, be yourself. But yeah, I was in school with like a celebrity. He a celebrity now. But during that time, I remember, like, back in the day, his daddy wasn't playing that. Like, I remember one time we had got in trouble and I had detention with him. And he in detention still acting up. His daddy came and got him. His daddy came and got him. Like, came and got him out of detention. It was so funny. I'm like, I can't believe I grew up with celebrities. It's another person that was like a semi-celebrity. She not such a celebrity, but she like a semi-celebrity. I can't think of her name either. She not that much of a celebrity, but she's well known. Like a little natural. If y'all know me, I like natural glam pinks. I'm so ashy. But I love a pink, or I love like a nude, but it gotta be like a light nude. Of when I was freaking in a class with a celebrity. I want to tell y'all his name, but I don't want to be like all clout chasing you know. But if y'all went to Thornton with me, y'all know who I'm talking about. I used to hate him. He used to think he was so funny. Like, I used to hate him because I used to be the one that get cracked on sometimes. So I used to hate it. Then I used to hate that, like, he used to he made a teacher cry. Him and his little homeboy made my teacher cry when I was in that grade. So I used to feel bad. I used to be like, oh my God. She did not like them two, okay? But yeah, that concludes my story. Come back with me on another Thursday. I'll probably do one more video tonight. But yeah, this is going to be my Throwback Thursdays. Okay? Y'all see I'm looking all bummy. I'm doing my nails. And yeah, bye.